Hello all, and welcome to the zoo.
Why am I here?
Minions of the Zoo is a lovable ragtag group of misfits that sprang up initially as a fan group to Ranting Monkey, Scribelite, Some Dumb American, and their joint Lords of the Night livestream show. Late night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Reject PPC and the One-Ton Hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One-Ton Hammer.
I will be your zookeeper tonight, Reject.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Lucky Pop-Tart Inquisitor.
Sanguine.
Skep Tock.
I'm Prospero.
Fat Platypus.
Chaosy.
And I'm Della Hazed.
Regular streamers, they're known as minions. And special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Minions of the Zoo. This is a Friday, right? Oh shit! Welcome to Friday night. Oh wait, there we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Minions of the Zoo Friday night episode. I'm your host, Mr. Adam of Veggie Clan the First, and with me is JenTMaxi. How you doing, Jen?
I'm doing well, but for the record, as far as Hammer's concerned, I'm technically the host because Hammer was concerned that poor Mr. Adam's been working too hard.
Nah, you can't.
We
work
got
Mr.
ourselves a
Adam.
minion shortage, you know?
You can't work Mr. Adam too hard.
Are you sure?
I'm like a rock. But no,
Like a rock.
if you check out today's title, or this evening's title, it's a special day today. It is our very own Sanguine's birthday. Happy birthday, Sanguine.
Happiest of birthdays, Sanguine! Sorry, that's why we're late too.
Yeah, he's out hanging out in hot tubs with many beautiful women, and he's cooking for them and showing him his collective ring collection and telling boisterous stories about his many adventures out in life. God bless
And
you,
he's-
Sanguine.
And he's totally not drinking some delicious booze in some ridiculously fancy cup
Are you kidding
that
me?
probably doesn't match it,
He's making the gods of Asgard jealous.
right? But at the very least, we're hoping that he's having a great night, because
Yeah, dude.
that's kind of my last minute scramble was, I was like, hey, he was looking for help, and I was like, well, it's his birthday. The least I could do as an old person is to offer somebody a hand, and then last minute, I think I confused both Hammer and Mr. Adam. So, happy birthday, Sanguine!
Well, you know, I am easily confused, so.
I'm good at it, though. But so is Hammer. And I love Hammer, and I hope you're watching us, Hammer, because I love you, Hammer. But there's something you should know. Probably 2/3 of your minions don't live in your time zone.
Oh,
Probably. Most likely. Scribe! Go through. Oh, it's Zoothrapple. We have a Zoothrapple. You know, Mr. Adam, that's one of the things I've never done in the Minions. I don't know about you, but do you actually have a Minions animal? Because we were supposed to do that, and I was like, I've never had a spirit animal. My spirit animal changes every time I see something fluffy.
I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck a Zoothrapple is. Is that when you overclock a zoo and they go faster
Yes.
and they start thrappling? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I haven't picked a spirit animal. I think at one point I wanted to be like a koala bear, but I don't know. I think I don't think I have a spirit animal, so to speak. Hey, they took my sign. But what about you?
Well, I know everyone kind of just picked random animals for the minions, but like I said, my spirit animal really does kind of change every time I see something new. Because I like everything. There's no animal that I don't meet that I'm like, I like that animal. He's my favorite animal. And then I see another animal. I'm like, you know what? I think that one's my favorite animal. So I've come to the conclusion they're all my favorite animal. Mm. The human is going to be my spirit animal because that's the only thing I think I can identify with because that's all I got. Sad.
It'll be interesting to draw, I guess.
Spirit animal. I would be called very many names because they would totally take it out of context. I mean, I can still draw people, but they still take it out of context.
Oh. You get
Well, spirit animal. And if my spirit animal is a human, then they're going to be like, so you mean a monkey, right? I don't know how they'll get there, but somehow they'll go from here.
You'd only understand if you were an alien.
Well, that's just it. They'll go from A to Z, and you're like, wait, what? Yeah, I used to think my spirit animal was like either a fox or, I don't know, some kind of deer kind of thing.
A deer kind of what?
Well, some girls go with horses, and I'm like, I don't think I'm quite horse-like. So I'm like, I don't know. Herbivore of some type.
Instead of a centaur, you'd be a centaur, but like with a deer.
That would be
like
cool.
A deer tour? Is that? Wait, that doesn't work.
You know, on that note, I'm gonna do to you what I did to Yellow Flash.
Oh no, please don't.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do to you what I did to Yellow Flash. So for the record, Yellow Flash doesn't know who the fuck I am. But I was like, you know what? He only has like 200 people watching his stream. If ever there's a time to say something inappropriate for the Streamlord to read it, that's usually about the time, especially when you know they've got like 5,000 people waiting.
Hold on, Jen. Just remember, I mean, Hammer made you deputy person of this show, right? So you just keep in mind, you have provenance. You don't want to be saying stuff to sully that badge there, so to speak.
No, but I'm talking about another host of another channel that's not related to ours at all. I'm talking about the Yellow Flash, who has a much bigger channel than we do. But hey, if he ever wants to bring me on and chat with me, I will totally shill out for the minions for him. But no, I gave him shit for two things. One, he was later than Monkey for his stream, so I accused him of reading the Bible too much when he went to the bathroom. And all of his moderators got that joke, and I was like, ha ha ha, you're all old. Because I didn't make up that joke, and that guy was super old. And then for two...
Is it an old thing if people keep Bibles in the bathroom?
So a Bible reference is to the length of the amount of time you're going to take taking a shit.
Oh,
it's a reading reference.
Wait,
so
Oh no! I stepped in that one. Oh shit! Oh fuck!
And then on the other note, I was like, so we were totally when I was watching the Yellow Flash, totally he was going on about the cartoons, because the most prominent thing right now is how Disney can't envision a world where two mermaids exist. One that's a white girl and one that's a black girl, especially when Trident has 10 children. The guy's a man whore. As if he didn't wander around the planet laying little children everywhere. So Ariel could have just had a little sister, or an older sister, in an ocean far, far away, where they could have invented an entire new world with entire new creatures that she could be interacting with and being friends with. And then you know what would have come along? A sequel in which the two found each other and interacted. And oh my god, it's a world full of mermaids that all look different, but are related to each other. This is how we integrate people and invite people and embrace a world where there's different people without replacing anybody. And it's not as racist. Thank you, Disney. But then because I realized that Disney is a shit show, I'm gonna shit on their product anyway, because I'm a bitch. And so I pointed out, what would be amazing? Is if instead of mermaids being like fish, They were like, seahorses.
Oh,
You want to know what's different with a seahorse, Mr. Adam?
I'm assuming because you actually said Mr. Adam instead of just Adam. I'm assuming it's because the guys get pregnant.
Yes!
Or at least
And
carry
then the
baby,
woman
right?
fucks off to go get smokes. And then I had this horrible image of that Aquaman seahorse, and I was like, is that where we got the first sea centaurians? It beats Amber Heard! So I think Yellow Flash knows who I am now. You're welcome.
There you go.
And I also got those jokes out there, so if ever you were going to do that, that's where to do it.
Well, Yellow Flash, if you're watching, you just
I
make
doubt
sure.
it.
I'm telling you, you make sure you check out JenTMaxi's content because it's top tier. Okay, let me tell you.
Listen, whenever a girl actually says a joke that's kind of funny, you really should write that down on a calendar. You know, because
Yeah.
women aren't funny. It's a
Well-
rarity. It's like a unicorn in the field, so write it down. And then rework it so it's better. Anyone is free to take my material and rework it and make it better. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I just
well,
like to laugh.
I think I see Carlos Mencia in the background over there with a tape recorder. So,
As long as he does it better, though. That's the problem with him. He didn't do it better. I'll forgive you if you do it better. If you do it shittier, then no, I'm going to sue the fuck out of you. Because you just ruined the whole point of the joke.
Ugh.
Like, you know, don't ruin a joke. If you don't understand the joke, then don't tell it.
Yeah, don't ruin the joke.
Right?
Come on.
Right? Right? Anyway.
So
So how about you? How have you been feeling about the media and how they like to gaslight you about your opinions on shit?
well, Jen, you know, usually as a host, you kind of want to open up with a soft opener, you know, something kind of light. You know, like, you know, how was your evening or how's your week been type of thing. Yeah, you know, like, hey, Jen, what did you have for dinner this evening?
What did I have? I had popcorn, because I'm horrible.
Popcorn?
And, well, I got a bag of, like, no-name brand white cheddar popcorn. I was like, dang it, I have been craving popcorn all week, so I've been eating it. And I had some soup, because I was like, at least that has some somewhat healthy material in it. And, well, at least that was my dinner.
Popcorn and soup.
Yep.
Okay, well, what kind of soup? Maybe it was a hearty, like, steak and
Chicken
potato.
noodle.
Oh, chicken noodle. Okay. Hey, you know what? I had chicken noodle for soup as well. So there you go.
I mean, it was a hearty one. It's just, listen, things are kind of, we're not starving up here. It's just, I'm not eating grand meals, you know? It's one of those things where you feel kind of like you're going to college, but you're not. You're not starving.
But it's just, okay. It's Friday night. Usually Sanguine is hosting on Fridays.
And he's telling you all about his delicious food too, isn't
it's
he?
quite the dichotomy of between chicken soup and what was that?
Popcorn?
Popcorn? White cheddar
White cheddar popcorn.
White cheddar popcorn and soup compared to what Sanguine would have been. Well,
I know.
I started with an 8-pound leg of ram leg, and I buttered it with a parsley and garlic sauce, and I had it marinating for about 8 days.
And he smoked the butter first.
I climbed the mountain to gather the berries, of which to add the sweetener for the sauce that I would add to the rice that I'm making. And this is quinoa, and so it's a different type of rice. So I had to mature it properly. And oh wow, dude, I had to take notes. No, you know, come on, Sanguine, you know we're giving you shit. You know, he's not here to defend himself, but he'd probably chuckle at it.
Well, he would. And hey, we're wishing him merry wishes anyway.
Huh?
Just, you know what though?
What's that?
Want to make any bets he cooked his own birthday dinner?
Oh, I'm sure he
Sanguine?
did. I wouldn't be surprised if he cooked himself like fucking Flintstone's rib where it knocks the car over. And he's sitting there, he's like, yep, this constitutes for a proper birthday meal. It's like, yeah, there you go. Eat up, man. Eat up, me hearty.
I mean, to be fair though, I mean, if you know you want to have a really good meal on your birthday, and you know that you're probably better than the cooks that are going to serve you, I kind of understand that.
Well, I mean, my birthday's coming up. I'd hire Sanguine to cook me a birthday meal. Shit.
Well, yeah,
Have you tried his food? It's delicious.
I have not tried, but I've seen pictures because I follow him on Twitter.
Ugh. Well, you know what? If only Willy Wonka further developed that printed tasting property, you could have tasted exactly what Sanguine tasted by just licking the picture. And with licking the screen.
You know the original movie? I thought that those were like little stickers. That they just gave them little stickers, and they just licked stickers.
Well, like, you have, like, the scratch and sniff stickers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like, he just stuck a bunch of those on the wall. You just go up and start sniffing and licking.
Yep. On that note, for things that have been invented this year that I understand what they were going for, but I don't think was a good idea when the hindsight kicks in, I've got two that I've noted on my list of things that are probably going to do damage to children in the future. The first one is the Squishimo. Now, I like them because they're just stuffies, but they decided to make this version of a stuffy that kind of flips inside out. And at first, yeah, they're the size of a keychain. That makes sense. Then they made one the size of a child's head, and I was like, you really don't understand children very well. Because they're going to put that on their head.
Oh, yeah.
The second one, and this is the one where I'm shaking my head, because I'm like, you would think that they would know by now. They have scented glue. You can get green apple, you can get cherry, you can get orange, you can get vanilla, scented glue.
Why would you want scented glue?
So you can sniff it?
No, I think this is to help ease the fucking people who's still eating glue. There's still glue eaters out there, and they're like, you know what would be better
if we made it taste like something delicious instead of something like glue.
If it didn't smell like plastic and whatever glue taste smells like. Ugh.
Like, do you remember? Like, you're old enough to be of the age to still remember the scented pens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying because I was the kid who was. I didn't get them new. I always got the old ones. You know, the ones that other kids had first. I was that generation, so just a little bit short of it.
They took all the sniff out of it?
No, I actually still have a pack that still smell. They still smell. I only have them because they still smell. I'm like, this is fantastic.
These fresh out of the pack scented pens on eBay. Yo, it's got the full freshness. You just
and I've had these things for like, I've had these things for probably about, oh god, at least 30, since I was 8 at least. So at least 32 years I've had these things and they still work and they're still scented. Get bent, kids. Your shit lasts like maybe a week.
I can't believe. Wow. What would people be using scented pens for? Could you imagine if you were writing a check and you wrote it in like a scent? Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. If you're somebody, you're like strawberry shortcake going out there, and you're like, okay, I gotta write a check. I'm gonna write it in strawberry scented pen. Yep, there you go.
See, that would make sense if we still kind of lived in a culture similar to Japan. And I don't even think they do this anymore. Like, my understanding is this is old school for them. But you know, the girls that would leave a note for a boy that they had a crush on? Our kids used to do it too. Rarely. Very rarely. But I could see a girl using a scented pen for something like that.
Yeah,
but
I can see that, yeah.
But the thing is, the felts I had were for little kids. Like, they were full-on Crayola-style shaped felts. Like, they weren't Crayola, but, like, the shape of them. So, like, you would paint the whole thing, and honestly, it was like a gummy bear pack. They even had a black licorice. What? Surprisingly, the kids liked that one better.
Oh, so that's what they were doing. They were just taking a sheet of paper and just going hog on the fucking sheet with the marker.
Yeah, and then you sniff it.
And they fucking sniff it. See? Yeah. Well, people did that with Sharpies and shit. They couldn't shove the Sharpie up their nose fast enough, so they're like, yeah, I need my fix.
I mean, there's still some people who do that, like.
That's strange.
But, you know, I mean, I think it's like the people who, I think it was Satsu or Irate Alex who poured over this shit, but the people who have the weird kinks and they'll eat like their mattress or like the aerosol sprays.
No, there was a Djibouti dubs of, it was a show, and it was something about like, I can't even remember what the terminology was, but it was like you had a fiction to something, and there was one episode where it was this lady who just couldn't help but eating mattress foam, and Djibouti Dubs just made a whole goof on it. They took it down. I'm assuming, you know, the family probably was like, hey, you know, it's disrespectful, but oh my god, it was just, how could you eat that stuff?
I do think it comes from things like scented pens. Like I said, not pens, but because they were felts. Like they were felts that were scented. So like you could get like a cherry one or an orange one. They were like the gummies from a gummy bag. Lime one. You know, so you made a rainbow and it smelled like a gummy bear pack. So you know your kids are kind of a little bit stupid afterwards. I'm like, I wonder why.
I don't know what's going on in Canada, but I just imagine like a group of kids just coming out of a gas station or convenience
covered
store
in like glue
with like a thing of gummy bears, and they're just like, they crack it open. They're just.
Well, here's the thing. I was investigating the new glues for a while because they've advanced with some of them. Like you could get glow in the dark. You could get glittery glue.
In the dark. Wait, are you talking about gummy bears?
No, glue.
Oh, glue.
Like Elmer's glue.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Well, glue's out.
And I'm still like, I'm like, I could understand that if it was like for fabric, like you maybe you wanted to do something on a shirt and you wanted it glow in the dark. I could see that being glow in the dark, but I don't understand the glue part.
Glue and paper together.
Right? Like that. I don't understand how that
maybe some
really works.
Well, you know, they had to market it. You know, they were losing it from Lego and all that, so they had to make it cool with sparklies and glow in the dark. That just,
No, I think we're trying to kill our kids. I mean, it's not just pens and glue. We also have scented Play-Doh, like real Play-Doh, and then like no name Play-Doh. Hi, Red. They all have scented Play-Doh. I'm like, I'm sorry, I knew a bunch of kids who would eat that shit.
No, you want to talk about trying to kill the kids? I don't know if you were, well, maybe. I don't know if they had it out there, but out here, they had popcorn that was different colored, and then they had like, not just like, oh haha, it looks cheddar or it looks caramel. No, this was like vibrant blue and vibrant green type, like it looked odd. And then they also had the same thing with ketchup. Like you can get like a neon green ketchup or a purple ketchup, and it's like,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
what the hell's going on with people?
Yeah, I remember that. Like I remember when they did it with the salt too, and I understood what they were trying to say with the salt. Like
how are you doing with salt?
So this was back during the 90s when they were really pushing the different diet fads. So the thing with the colored salt was it was implied that you could see it better. So if you put it on an egg, you could be like, oh, that's a lot of salt. But here's the thing though, people were like, I'm not going to eat that. Not because it's showing me how much salt I've got, but because you've added extra chemicals to something that already got enough chemicals in it. So it failed. I think that's pretty much the same thing that happened with the ketchup, because the ketchup was just, it was really geared towards kids. But it was so gross.
It looks so gross.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. Because kids are like, yeah, I like colorful things, but I also like my food to look like food. You know, it's one thing to have a chicken nugget that's in the shape of a dinosaur, because you still know it's chicken. And another thing to have something that came from a tomato and it's green. Unless it was a green
Looks
tomato.
like here's a green ooze that might taste like ketchup.
You know, I mean, see, here's the thing. If ketchup had run with like a green tomato ketchup, it would have worked. Because, yeah, green tomatoes are a thing. I mean, have you ever had a recipe with green tomatoes?
Yes.
They're good. I mean, as long as it's a recipe for them, they're not completely ripe tomatoes. It's a specific kind of recipe, but my mom used to make a really, 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 really good relish with them. And honestly, she couldn't keep them because we would end up giving them to family members and stuff. And I would take one home every month if I could. It would last me like maybe 2 shots because they weren't big jars. Like, you know, these are little jam mason jars.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a green tomato relish, and yeah, I poured all over that. I was like, shit, this is good. My mom's a good cook. I gotta take more tips from her, but she's cranky, so I'm having a hard time. I love my parents. I don't know about you, but I'm at that age where I'm like, I'm either driving her nuts or she's driving me nuts, and I'm like, we're driving each other nuts. I will beat her to it. Because I think she's going senile.
But yeah, you said you had maybe a topic or two that you wanted to talk about.
Okay, yeah, I guess we could go to other things.
Well, I mean, only because I know you wanted to talk, at least finish the show with at least 2 bits. So before we get to that, was there anything you wanted to talk about? Because I mean, hey, there's stuff I want to talk about too. If you wanna. Well,
I can get out at least the first part because I know we have a few people at least watching us now. I don't even think most of you are following me on Twitter anyway, but I'm just giving you a heads up. Over the next week, while it's still trending, you might be seeing me posting a lot of this hashtag Trudeau must go. It's technically a protest. I acknowledge that it's spam, but it is a protest. It's one of those things where we're all introducing each other because we're like, hey, he thinks we're not to be tolerated because some of us didn't get vaxxed, and I did, but I voiced it by the opinion that if you were someone who medically shouldn't, you shouldn't be coerced into it, and this whole thing has been coercion for everybody. But I also been trying to pick the ones with the haughty ladies. Like, don't get me wrong, I will show support to my gentlemen because we're all Canadians here. But for the sake of the Americans who are suffering greatly from my mass spam of Canadian goofiness, I'm trying to make it easy on your eyes.
Wait, so what about the ladies?
Well, well, for one thing, it was kind of funny. So
these ladies?
So I don't know how the U.S. didn't know, but there's a lot of really good-looking Canadian ladies up here. I'm just saying that we have a lot of really good-looking ladies who don't post their shit on Twitter for a reason because they have family members, like they're married and shit, and they're like, I'm a part of this thing where we're going to show support to each other, so I'm going to show my picture online. And so these ladies in these really pretty poses who are just like, I hate Trudeau, he needs to go. And then all the guys in their thread who are like, so hey, are you sure you're not single?
I'd like a nice Canadian lady with but you guys don't like the Quebecan ladies, so I don't know.
That isn't entirely true. Listen. Quebec to us is like that weird cousin that we take the piss out of all the time.
I know, and I'm just taking the piss out of you because
you
are the American cousin that we take.
Well, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
It's like anytime a Canadian talks to you guys about, like, unless it's something really serious, like, this stuff up here is pretty serious.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I mean, it's gonna...
And actually, down here, I haven't really heard anything about what's going on. We were supposed to have a strike with our railways this today or tomorrow. So yeah, no, I'm all for it. And honestly, I'm 100% with the trucker protest. So no, yeah, I'm full on with you, Canuckistans. I just you know, I like me
Well,
my
it's-
accents though.
Oh, well, there's that too. But there's also this thing where, let's be real, every American has probably at this point met the one Canadian who really grew up thinking they knew everything about your country. And that does have a bit of an ego that if I was an American, I would blow the shit out of that. Happily so. And you should. Canadians are a good ally to Americans. And I like to think that that's something that we stand by. But a lot of us have this tendency to think that the TV that we watch and the small amount of time that we actually focus on our neighbors makes us think that we know more about you. And then we get validation from it from stupid videos of people doing like interviews with randos on the street.
That's always kind of surprised me on how people accept what they see on the television as wholesale and just go with it. Oh yeah, I saw it on TV, so that's what it must be. Like, really? Okay.
It's something that I've noticed a lot, especially since the left really started this movement of theirs. It's just been more and more and more that I see it. And I'm like, I've never thought that I knew dick about the US. I was always kind of aware that my level of knowledge was kind of shallow. And that if I went there to visit, yeah, I would just be like, hey, I'm a foreigner. So anything you want to teach me about yourself, I'm happy to learn. I learn better that way anyway. I just do. You know, I kind of am, if you show me what it is that you're talking about, I suddenly know what the hell you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People are just better like that. But your country is huge. Like, it's like people who think that they know law when they're Canadian, they're trying to talk about American law. And I'm like, you're going to fail. You know, there are people in the US who try to talk about law in the other states and they fail. Because it's complicated. It's not hard, it's just complicated. That's what Ricada told me. It's not hard, there's just a shitload of it in there. So it's complicated.
Yeah, and it's a lot.
I can't do his accent either. I'm not gonna try. I also can't afford the booze he does, so I'm really not gonna try. Hey, Ricada, if you ever want to send me some American dollars, that's like 3 times the amount I get up here anyway. So then I could get some decent booze.
There you
I'm
go.
kidding.
Ricada, if you're watching this, I'm warning you. You better make sure to give some buckaroos over to JenTMaxi over in Kazakhstan and pay her sir attention.
No.
I gotta stop doing the Larry Fine bit. That's horrible. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. In all honesty, if I were to talk to him about anything, it wouldn't be about me at all anyway.
Well, it'd be fun to talk to any of these people, just to talk to them. And I mean, I don't know about you, but, you know, just to see what they really think about stuff, you know? And when they're not trying to be a personality on the show, you know?
The one I want to talk to the most is going to be Viva Fry at this point. And it's not to judge him. Like, I know he's a big YouTuber. I know he can't catch for everything. But he interviewed Blind Girl.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
He interviewed Blind Girl. Back through the convoy, he knew who she was. And so I really want to tell him her story a little bit about at least her son and kind of what happened to her and kind of the shit I heard going on in her hospital room. Because even though there's never going to be anything that happens, I think if he told that story, it'd be really nice. He doesn't even have to mention her name. It's just, yeah, I think her system hooched the pooch. I'm not saying that she died for that reason. I'm just saying that she could have been helped a lot more than they did. Like, a lot.
Could have done a little bit more, huh?
A whole lot more.
A whole lot more.
A whole lot more. Like, there was stuff that she told me that had happened to her in that system that I 100% can see it not only happening, but that they still do it all the time anyway. You know? Ontario isn't a bad place. It's just they project a lot. Everything that they think that everybody else is doing, they're technically doing. And everybody in our chat who hears me saying that knows what I'm talking about because they're the ones who tell me about it. And I sit here and I'm just like, move to my province for the love of God. At least go to BC. Even Quebec at this point is looking nicer than you. And they're a shithole. But I love Ontario too, because that's where most of my family is. You know, well, not most, but like a third of my family's from there. So, like, God damn it. What the hell happened? I've been there. It's a pretty province. They've got a lot of lovely trees that are mapley. Very mapley. They really, really, really gave me hives. I will let you know that my level of disdain for the maple trees gave me the worst of hives. Or at least my nose and my face was like, woohoo, I got a melon on my head. But yeah, I am concerned about Ontario because they've got some serious problems. But the healthcare is free though. No, it's not. We pay for that. It's called tax dollars. Nothing in life is for free. You still gotta pay for your bandages. For the record, I have it in my head that I gotta remember the next time I buy bandages to get Marvel ones. Because I live in Canada now. Don't bother with skin tones. Because A, they never existed. And C, they're stupid in the first place. So get, like, Ninja Turtles. Or Marvel. Or, like, Little Mermaid or something. With the original. Where'd you go? I think Adam has gone pee. Yep. Confirmed. I am by myself. I mean, I could rattle on about random stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, there you are. I thought you would pee.
Oh, no. No, it was, packing a bowl of the finest weed of the South Farthing. You know.
I see.
Yeah. You know, the love of the Hobbit leaf has rattled my brains, so... But here I am! Haha, hoo hoo. Yeah, what is a helicopter seed? What is a helicopter seed?
Don't really know what she's talking about. Red is awesome. Oh yeah, she's accusing you of a shit.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I started that trend with the Bible talk.
Well, I didn't know that apparently a lot of books have it's dedicated to Gideon in it. I didn't know there was a reason why the Beatles said it in the Rocket Raccoon. I made a joke when we were out in Wisconsin. Bug, Quiz's roommate, looked in a drawer and he's like, "Hey, there's a Bible." I'm like, "Oh yeah? Is it from Gideon?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, it says right here." I'm like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Oh, that was news to me." I mean, that was probably like the dullest of rug to toss on that joke that you tossed before, but I'm sorry.
You're good.
But yeah, things are crazy up in the Great North, our neighbor to the north.
They are and they aren't. It's one of those things where, like, you know shit is bad, but because most people are just kind of normies, it's easy to kind of blend in and try to not think about it. Like, at best, it's when you have things like orientation, like... So I technically started my job 8 months ago, and even though I did my orientation, they didn't register it. And I think they didn't register it because they updated their system, because they have a new orientation with, like, 45 minutes of covering microaggressions and sexual harassment and not harassing people. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I've done orientation before. It's just the same stuff over and over again. And it's the same stuff that I've seen on here, and I'm just like, I know trans people who are saying the exact opposite of what you're telling me to do. Wow, your advice is kind of shitty. You know what? I'm going to agree to what you're telling me to because that's what I'm paid to do. But I'm going to just treat people like human beings, and I'll leave it at that. And what you do when you are at work, don't talk about politics. Don't talk about your home life unless it's something like, I'm going to a birthday. It's nobody's business.
Yeah, honestly, it's. I've always found it kind of awkward when you talk politics with people at work, because it's like you could have a completely different political viewpoint, but hey, remember, you still gotta spend 8 hours of your day with them. So it's like, maybe you shouldn't say anything. Just keep your mouth shut.
Like, I know that my views aren't for everybody. That's just reality. It's always been reality. Even before Trudeau, that was reality. Before I could even vote and even paid attention to elections, that was still true. Because I might have made a joke from South Park. And South Park wasn't meant to be political, but here's the thing. They joked about everything. So sometimes it was political.
And, well, that's why it's needed, too, because you're supposed to be able to goof on the shit that's going on. The moment you're not allowed to do that, that's when you start, you gotta at least question, okay, so why am I not allowed to goof on this? And that should alarm you, at least in a little bit.
Yeah, that's usually a good sign that you're not really living somewhere where speech is free. Yeah. That was the other thing that got me a little nervous. So I'm a little bit like, I hope this isn't true. But apparently they do want to moderate what I do on the internet. Like, don't share certain images, don't share certain opinions. If somebody were to find out, it might hurt their opinion. And I'm like, if you're that kind of job and you let me go for those reasons, I will take you to the tribunal. Because that's a violation of my own rights. Like, we do not have the same form of freedom of speech that you guys have, but we do have something that covers for that. And no, none of my coworkers would know about my politics. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if most of them follow with my politics. I might even have a trans person at work who might actually be conservative because he told a joke. I have to do that, I'm grateful for the conservative side of the trans community because they're nice to me about that. I'm dyslexic in life, Adam. In life. Not just in how I write. Not just, like, my numbers are fine. But there are times where I will know how I'm supposed to say something, but I'll still say it backwards.
No. It happens to the best of us, you can't really...
That's why I'm a little bit terrified of this community, because I could be looking at you. I could be coaching myself to say the right thing, because I can tell when you're trying. I know that you're failing.
Well, see...
But I can tell when you're trying. But then my brain just rewords it.
Remember that speech is still a lower form of communication outside of just telekinesis, shit like that. That's the name of the right word. Just being able to communicate with people mentally, and you wouldn't have to have any of these like. Ugh. Well.
Well, I'll confess. I'll confess to the YouTube square. I did it to Eve's girlfriend twice, and to be honest, I did kind of. Well, I can't prostrate in front of her because this is the internet. She wouldn't appreciate that. She couldn't see it. But I did, not because she's trans, not because I give a shit about the trans activist, but because she's my friend. I was embarrassed because I was trying to not do that. And to be honest, she just teased me for it, and it was fine. That's why that's what's kind of important, in that regard. Like,
well, I didn't know anything about that.
No, that's nothing to you. That was just like the first time I was kind of really hanging out with them, and Eve declared that they were in a relationship, and I was super stoked for her because everyone wants Eve to be happy as pie. I'm so happy that she's happy as pie. you know. And so I really like her girlfriend too. And I was just like, God damn it, I keep doing it. It, like I said, she just teased me for it, and that's all it took. Like, she knew it wasn't hard feelings. She knew I didn't mean anything bad about it. She knew I liked her. And look at me, I have no problems now. It's just the trans community that's activists don't understand human psychology. There's always going to be somebody like me who's going to derp at least 10 million times. And I'm not going to apologize for it because, well, the reason I'm derping is because of a learning disability. I would love to not derp a lot.
Yeah, well.
Every time I would write essays, I really wished I didn't derp. Because then I'd have to write them like 10 times. How about you? Do you have anything like that? Do you do anything backwards or like sideways?
Yeah. No, I'm sitting there constantly at work, and it's even worse because I'm sitting there like, or not. It's not even worse, but I'm sitting there like I'm talking about the companies that we're working with, and they're like, Adam, no, it's this, and I'm like, oh, fucking. Well, I didn't mean to say it like that. You know what I'm fucking talking about, so that we shouldn't have to discuss this. Like, it's. No, I get it. It's a communication block that just it's. You know what I'm talking about. Why do you have to correct the language that we're saying when you already understood what I'm fucking trying to convey? Just do it. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I think the thing that frustrates me the most with that is because most people can do that for people who speak English as a second language. Like, say you're speaking to someone who's French or somebody who's Spanish or somebody who's Oriental, like Japanese or Korean. You can understand their English. I mean, it's not good English, and yes, you're listening very carefully for their vowels so that you understand where they're going for, but you know what they're talking about. But they encounter somebody like you and I, and there's like this blank space where there's this belief of like we're making it up. I'm like, listen, if I was making this shit up, I would be a hell of a lot smarter than I am. Because it requires a lot of effort to do this shit. When you actually try to get a normie to do what I do, they have to be an actor. They actually have to be an actor. Because I tried to explain it to my mom. Like I'm pretty sure they didn't diagnose me for some shit. I don't want it for the title. I wanted it so that I could go and find out what the shit it was so that I could fix it. Or at least find something that I could work with. So it's no longer like kind of being a pain in the ass, because it's embarrassing half the time. Like, I'll try to explain something and I have to write a story about what the point is, when the point is like something this tiny as like, oh, it was something blue, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to get to a point, and like everywhere that you go to get to this point makes you feel like you're dragging it out so much more than you have to, and you're like, I really wish I didn't do that. I wish my brain didn't. Because by the time you get there, everyone else is bored, and they're like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and I don't even care anymore.
Well, hold on. So, how do you perceive it though? Do you think of it like you're going into it blindfolded, or do you think of it as more of a you're trying to see what they're thinking? You're trying to perceive what they're doing.
So if you can imagine that when you're trying to relay the information, you could legit see it on a test a test. But in that test, they have blanks for where you would fill in the words. And where your brain would fill in the words, it just doesn't. So instead of going with what would have been the regular structure of that sentence, you end up trying to restructure it to replace the words that you know should be there, but just aren't. It's really weird to describe. Like, say I was talking about a documentary that I was watching. If it's fresh in my mind, it's not so bad. You know, like, say I was watching it 10 minutes before I jumped in to talk to you. I could pretty much rehearse what I talked, like what I saw. If it was 20 years ago, I could still do that. But sometimes I will have to re-trigger the moments of what I was watching or what I was doing to do that. But that same little moment where I'm doing that test, I have all the information, but those little blank spots are just there. and it's the weirdest thing. It's just weird.
Like little fragments of memories.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I can still fill in the blanks, but sometimes what I'll do is, so internet's great for this because I can remember the majority of what it is that I'm trying to describe. I can look up the piece. You know, like say I was describing, okay, I'll go with documentaries because that's what we're doing. Say I was describing something from a castle and I was remembering this information from a documentary that I watched. And so I'm going backwards in my memory to do this. So the show that I saw was on BBC. They were building a castle in France, and they were showing how they built the toilets because the toilets are kind of outleaning on a castle. It's called a buttress. Because that's where your butt rests when you shit out a hole that hopefully doesn't fall on any peasants. So to do that, I went backwards so that I could fill in the blanks of the hole on what would have been like a blank piece of paper for a test. It's the same way I do tests too, actually. Like sometimes I read the test the first way, and then I read it again backwards because then my brain fills in the holes.
Wait, it feels like it's a what? You cut out
Okay.
at the end of that. You felt like a...
I think I did cut out. Okay, so like I said, when I'm how much of this did you hear? So I'm not repeating the whole thing because that was a lot.
I was just asking for the last bit.
Last bit? Okay. So the last bit is legit me going back to the test. It's like when I'm remembering stuff, I read through that test in my memory the first way, and then when I go to regurgitate it, I have to go backwards to regurgitate it properly.
All right. Regurgitate away. Oh,
No.
wait, don't go to that regurgitate. Stay away from
That sounds naughty.
Yeah,
that's
no,
not. I was. Oh boy.
Yeah. Continue where you left off.
Well, there's not much more to say there.
Oh.
You know, I'm just saying that, like, when you're trying to describe a learning disability to somebody, it does sound like it's complicated to describe to someone. That's why it's better to talk to somebody who's a professional or other people who kind of have similar things, because the communication's a little bit better. I also kind of figured this was why. So I got called out by a couple of friends because they were like, you know, Jen, you're really kind of a snot when it comes to taking advice from women, but when it comes to dudes, you always seem to take advice from them. And I'm like, that's because men tend to understand me better, because you guys understand patterns better. So when I'm talking, you guys are like, oh, what is she going with this? Oh yeah, she's going with that. So when I get advice from men, it's because you understood what I was talking about. My mom didn't like hearing that. Also, my dad's an engineer, so like when I say that he took apart my conversations all the time, he really did. How about you, though? What do you have a topic? You said you had a topic or two, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Topics. Shit. What did I do with the topics? That's not the topic. The topics that I have going on today is first, before we get into these topics, I'd like to at least say hello to the people in chat. And
Thank you, everybody, for showing up. We love you all.
Yes.
Bye, Cryptic!
Thank you all for showing up and hanging out. And hopefully we are providing you... I've been enjoying myself. I don't know about you, Jen, but I've been having a blast.
Well, I do appreciate you yet again. Like, I know I said this a billion times, and it's a Canadian thing, you know? It's kind of like how we apologize a million times. We also show gratitude a million times, because
God, jeez.
last minute...
Not even that. It's just I've had a fun conversation. Can't you take a positive...
I did! I am taking a positive. I'm taking gratitude.
But... Damn. But yes, thank you for showing up on... This is where... Okay, this is something that I actually kind of wanted to bring up. Something like, I really don't like when people sit there and say, you know, hey, like and subscribe. But at this moment, you should probably like and subscribe. And hit that notification bell. The thing is, we do not do it right at the beginning. And we don't bait you in and have you watch a couple of, like, you know, maybe 10, 12 minutes. And then all of a sudden we dip you in that. I want to get a little animated thing so I can just put it on there. And I have to say that.
We have a wandering quiz. Hello, wandering quiz.
Oh.
Hello.
I'm great. We are grateful for the visit.
Oh, shit. Hold on. It's quiz?
Yeah, it's quiz.
Aren't you at work?
See,
I was able to squeeze myself away for a couple of minutes, say what's up. How's it going, everyone?
Yeah. So we last minute took the stream from Sanguine because I kind of got the feeling he was. We're missing on people for minions. I'm just saying, we need more minions.
You wanna wish Sanguine happy birthday?
Yeah. Oh, I already did, but yeah, Sanguine, happy birthday. You know, man, all I gotta say is, you know, no one ever said that friends need to agree with each other 100% all the time. We certainly don't, but I truly do consider you one of my best friends, Sanguine. Happy birthday, and I hope you have a good time out in, I believe he's in Europe?
Yeah,
I hope you're having a good time out there, man.
So jelly. He is eating European food. He is totally eating all the European food. So we were joking that he was probably cooking his own dinner, but no, this is the one time he might be cooking his own dinner. not eating his...
Dude,
you know what I meant.
He's going to retake Stamford Bridge.
That's why I was happy to try to take this stream. Even if I'm a little derpy, like, I really got to get my own shit set up in terms of helping out with the minions. It's just, you know, I don't know what my schedule's going to be, because I'm poaching hours where I can. You know how it is.
Yep.
But you know, I saw that he was looking for people, and I was just like, not on his birthday, man. I will help out. I will go an extra half hour and have a little bit of fun with all my friends on the minions, because Sanguine, you're one of my friends too. If I ever somehow manage to cross the border, I will somehow find a way to meet all of you guys somehow. But that might be years from now, because economy.
Well, you know, we had such a good time on our trip up in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not that far away from Canada. Granted, it's pretty far away from Alberta, but because it's bordering Ontario. But it's right across the lake from you guys, so you know.
Hold on,
you're an Ontario one.
There you go. I was gonna say you're saying it, and then there's an Eeyore who's gonna go.
Yeah, Eeyore's right here.
As a person from Ontario, I'd like to say it's quicker to get to Wisconsin from Alberta than it is from like 90% of Ontario. You know why?
You got to go around Superior. Got to go around Lake Superior. Yeah, it's true. Or you could just fly.
Yeah,
probably fly into Green Bay.
I mean, in all honesty,
yeah, that's fine.
You know, in all honesty, I would probably be down for that, because I mean, at this point, I had all these dreams to go visit Blind Girl, and I can't. Well, I mean, I still can, but it's kind of awkward now. I still owe her a ceramic Tim Hortons cup, because, you know, but now that I can't go to visit her, I have two venues now. Yeah, I'm still gonna shill for her kid. I'm just saying, it's not for Jack. It's just she had an autism house that she was working on, and she's left that in the hands of poor Mr. Misanthropic, who is a poor American military man who now has a low functioning autism house that he has to work on up here in Canada. So I will be donating to that a lot, so that he has help. But I still have an extra venue for things that I'd like to do. So I'd like to visit you guys. So yeah, somewhere down the line, I will do that.
Like I said, we kind of want to do it every year. We had such a blast doing it. I'm down to do it again.
Well, you know what? That would make it more amazing, because the more often you do it every year, the easier it is for everybody else to kind of show up. And maybe one of these days we'll have everyone. And I know Monkey and Satsy are like, we're never going to show up in public, but if we get Monkey a mask, maybe he could. You know? A mask that looks like his avatar. We could totally do that.
Oh, for God's sake.
Could you imagine a white person with a monkey mask on? Nah, it's gonna cause a little bit of a problem.
Ruffle some jimmies.
Those jimmies deserve to be ruffled constantly.
Hey, listen, I did mention on Pat's stream how once upon a time I did remember that my dad had a raccoon hat, and I was looking at Satsu. I'm like, if I just stitch Make America Great on this and send it to you, you can have it.
I had a raccoon hat. What?
Right?
It's not a raccoon hat.
I had when I was a kid. Of course.
Yeah,
I
a lot
did.
of people did. Well, yeah.
I was in northern. It was in southwestern Ohio. It's like right on the border with Kentucky. Like we could have just driven 45 minutes into Kentucky. Of course.
Oh,
the Appalachians.
I've driven to Kentucky from Ohio. That bridge sucks.
It does. I would say, dude, the fucking overpass in Cincinnati is it's like a roller coaster.
It's a death fucking trap, dude. Fuck, man. Every time I have to, every time for the last 3 years, right, I have to fly into, when I go to Ohio, right, I go to Cincinnati, it's not Cincinnati, but the Kentucky fucking airport, right? Well, whatever. Yeah, every time I go over that bridge, I feel like I'm gonna die.
Yep.
Oh, fuck that bridge. Yeah. And the traffic is so bad. I was like, all right, you know what? I'll get to a Dayton, Ohio, in maybe. And then, good estimate is like it's about an hour, 10-minute drive, right? I add another 45 minutes.
Yeah, from Cincinnati to Dayton. Yeah.
Yeah, I add another 45 minutes, because I'm like, the traffic is going to be bad.
Well, I've never really had the traffic be all that bad in Kentucky, but yeah. I'm gonna say Dayton. Yeah. Dayton's where I was born and stuff like that. So it's like right between Dayton and Cincinnati. That's where I grew up.
Dayton is one of the fucking kindest, nicest people you'll meet in the world. But holy shit, do they have a lot of fucking meth and coke?
Yes, they do.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just going like, they are, but you know what? The people there are one of the nicest people I'll meet in my fucking life.
Hey, I want to let everybody know. I want to welcome everybody who joined the show. Quiz, Eeyore, and Cryptic. Thank you for joining.
Sorry.
I just want you three to know that you will be required to sing Happy Birthday for Sanguine at the end of the show.
No.
If
called away to
you're
work.
gonna
Sorry, guys, I gotta go.
On and you're gonna
gotta go.
Look at that.
Well, he is at work. He might feel a little uncomfortable saying that to him.
Look,
but we can sing it at the end. Yeah.
I'll we'll add you and digitize. We got George Lucas team on it.
On that
Industrial
note,
Light and Magic?
Yeah.
on that note, I don't mean to tattle on Cryptic again, but every time somebody brings up music, it reminds me that Blind Girl got him to listen to Avril Lavigne for at least an hour. You're welcome.
I would never fucking. Everything's so goddamn complicated. Fuck that bitch.
She was a troll to the bitter end. I didn't even realize it, because up here in Canada, this that kind of music is pretty much white noise. You just blot it out. You're not like, oh yeah, I remember this shit. And I pointed it out to my managers, and they both started laughing at me, because I was like, I wouldn't have noticed it if you hadn't pointed it out. So every 45 minutes, Avril Lavigne will pop out, and I'm just like, damn it, Blind Girl!
No, I remember. I was like, fucking, what the hell is this beat? Oh, fuck me. It's complicated by fucking Avril Lavigne. Bitch. Oh, and then Celine Dion. Yeah. I'm like, oh.
I didn't mean to throw you off, but again, Jen, you are the host, so you take the lead. Where do you want to go with this? You now have more.
Could have been worse. I mean, you could have had to have dealt with Khaled's Young, Dumb, and Broke high school kids on every hour on the hour, like I did for 4 years. Yeah, I don't want to be serenaded by fucking Elmer Fudd. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that would be awkward. I mean, okay, so the
Dude,
first
sounds like
time.
Elmer Fudd.
Come on, haven't you seen him in the production with the Bugs Bunny?
So, I do kind of feel you a little bit there, Quiz. So I don't know if you guys had the same style of stuffies that we did, because quite often we get them from you in the first place. But my first job, they kept pushing the first brand of stuffed animals that would really kind of sing songs to you. So it was like, I just called ring ring to say I love you, and it sounded like that too.
Okay, well, first of all, I was going to say, what the fuck are stuffies? But then the context kind of, even that out. I don't remember that at all. But then again, I was a kid in the 80s. So the only stuffed animal that I had that talked to me was Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, so I think it was a follow-up of the Tickle Me Elmos. They just wanted to go from, if you press its stomach in the awkwardest way, it'll make sounds, or it'll move, or something. But, honest to God, every adult who had one of these stuffed animals was just like, yeah, I'm going to play with it around the store. I'm not going to buy it, but I'm going to play with it around the store. So, every few seconds, I just called ring, ring to say. Don't flag us, YouTube. I'm not doing that with any intent on getting money for it, because I shouldn't. Say. Yeah, anyway. There are just some toys that were designed to punish the parents.
If that flags the robots, then more power to those fucking robots. The Skynet deserves to inherit the Earth.
But no, I stand by what I said. Some toys were designed to punish the parents. Just because they were meant to get stuck in your head, or you step on them.
Earworms, or they're punishing in that sort of way. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Legos were the worst. Step on Lego, and
But I stand by what I said. I think our toys were better.
Modern day caltrops.
Mm-hmm. I mean, their gaming systems are better, but we play those anyway. Let's be real. We're part of the generation that I mean, I didn't make them because I'm not techie. But I paid for the systems that helped pay for the new ones, so, but our actual toys were better.
The 80s, hell yeah. Absolutely. G.I. Joes, He-Man.
Their toys revolve around crap. Literally.
Well,
the most normal stuff is the sports stuff, which, fair enough, it should be.
Do you guys remember the commercial for was it a baby doll that can poop and pee? And I'm like,
Mhm.
Why would I want to fucking do any of that shit as a kid? I'm
That's
a
all it
kid. Why am
is.
I? Yeah, why am I trying to take care of another kid, like a fake kid? Like,
It's a
if it,
variation of that. Only it's
Conditioning.
like, like you could do it with a pet, or you could do it with an alien. The some of the new ones for the girls, I'm questioning the people who would buy it. So the dolls are meant to be makeup dolls, but they look like abuse victims. Like
It's
they
talking about
look
like
like
brats and
somebody.
shit,
Yeah, they look like they were
where
designed
they look
after
all like
brats.
lumpy and beaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like somebody beat the shit out of them. I'm like, if that's what happens to you from wearing makeup, maybe you shouldn't be wearing makeup.
look, we
I
can all
don't know.
agree that the only people that we should like want to beat into submission is Scottish people named opinionated Scotsmen. That's all.
I'm not anti-makeup either. I'm just saying that makeup doesn't do that. Uh-oh.
The toys back then, they were more collectible items. Like,
Mhm.
Tickle Me Elmo. You guys remember the craze on that one, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
yeah, they made so fucking much money out of that shit. It's just, uh, and they were creepy
Well,
too.
they were like the speculators and shit too. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were creepy as shit. And I was like, and then they came out with a couple million version, like manufactured uh, Tickle Me Elmo. Was like, and then the price dropped, and people were not happy because some people were paying like a hundred some dollars for those, and then when the full inventory got released, it's like basically dropped down to like $50 or $30 a fucking pop, right? So the people who bought it at like $200-300, they got fucked over. So
Yeah, you had the whole scalpers market, and that Christmas was like, it was the hot toy, so everyone had to have
right,
it.
and then it was over flooded right afterwards. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, they're like, well, everyone had one, and there wasn't any, it was a glut in the market, so no one, wanted to buy it, so it didn't have the staying power. I mean, yeah, they raked in money hand over fist, and scalpers, got $300 for a $20 toy because they got to the toy store before all of the working dads and moms did. But then it's like, I think that was a cautionary lesson for a lot of people in the late 90s, early 2000s,
Mhm.
that that sort of thing is to be avoided at all possible. People still trample each other on Black Friday and shit, but that's for like, LCD TVs and shit. It's not for a Tickle Me Elmo.
yep. But do you know what that reminded me of, though, Quiz?
Mm.
The comic book speculator. Fuck up. So the
Yeah, the spectators market for comic
yeah,
books in the 90s. Yeah.
yeah, it's the same fucking thing. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy this for like $50 or $100, and then I'm gonna, even though it's like a 5 or 3. Well, actually, back then it was like a $2 to $3 comic book, right? And then next thing you know, it's like, oh yeah, I'll give you 50 cents for this shit, and people were pissed off. It's because there was too many of them, and the value wasn't great. The storyline was shit. So
Well, that was what everyone did for the death of Superman. Everyone thought the death of Superman was going to be this huge, like, long-lasting event that was instrumental in DC Comics history. So everyone went out and bought a copy of it, and then it turns out that it was the most printed comic of all time and absolutely fucking worthless.
yep. And I think they did the same
And
thing
that's
with
how you
the
beat the scalpers. Made to order.
exactly. Well,
Unfortunately,
that's the
there's other situations, namely new consoles around Christmas, where more power to their scalpers every single day.
yeah. Yep. I mean, it happens a couple times. Like when Civil War came out, right? people went all crazy and they will buy into like tie-in comics and like it's not gonna be worth much shit. And people would just keep on buying and buying it. And I was like, yeah, I'll buy the tie-in comics for like a quarter. You bought it for like $3, $4, $5, whatever, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's
I say it's funny. I went and I looked it up the other day. No one's got the entire thing up on eBay right now, but someone was selling the entirety of Volume 1 of Harley Quinn on eBay for $700.
oof. Nobody's gonna buy that.
So it was all 38 something issues in single issues. And what was that, Cryptic?
I'll say nobody's gonna pay $700 for all it.
Well, I don't know. People do for like the individual issues. No one's gonna pay that much for like the fucking trades, but for the individual issues, yeah, people might.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, and that's the cool thing about me is that I have both.
I have the original death metal stuff because those first came out. I still have the cool box for it. I didn't even read it. Well, mostly. I have the Civil War, the original Civil War. But you know, it's like that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, you hit or you miss some stuff. You know, like the New 52. I have the original, like the collection of New 52. You know what? I consider that just trash. I'm never getting anything out of it. You know, like the New 52 books are pointless. They're useless.
Yeah, you're not gonna collect the New 52 books and make any money off of them.
Yeah, and I know that, you know, and I don't care. But like some people are like, oh, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna, you know, next hot thing type of books I'm gonna buy.
I mean,
And it's like,
it comes down to the speculator market. I mean, that's what it's called for a reason. Speculators. Like for me, I have all of the New 52 Harley Quinn series and all of New 52 in hardback trade editions. So when it comes down to it, like if I need to liquidate my comics, then I don't know, maybe hopefully in 40 years something time, those will be worth something.
yeah, it's the same thing here. It's like I have the New 52. I also have the Flashpoint series, right, and the Blackest Night and all that stuff. Yeah, I know it's not gonna be worth shit now, but like maybe in like 40 years, you know, it will get some kind of money. But you know, right now, if I was to sell it, I'd sell it for like I think maybe a book was like $3 or $4, right? I maybe get half of it if I'm lucky right now. But in maybe 40 years, I'll get double of that. So
for the New 52 stuff.
The Blackest Night, and yeah.
Oh, Blackest Night. It all depends on which issues of Blackest Night you have, because that was a whole anthology series, right?
Yeah, I have each and every single first print.
It all depends on like the individual issues, and then if anyone's gonna buy them in individual issues, or if they want to buy it, you know, as a whole. Usually the as a whole thing sells quicker, but the individual issues are more sought after. Well, okay, no, wait, hold on. Usually you'll get more money if you sell them all together, but not a lot of people are going to want to buy them all together. People are going to want them in individual issues, and if you sell them in individual issues, you don't have the full set anymore. So that's the problem.
Well, I have the full set of Civil War, Planet Hulk, full set of Blackest Night, Death Metal, New 52, whatever, you know, the last like Final Crisis, all that stuff. I have all that Flashpoint and all that stuff in individual books, but it's a set. You know, I have the whole storyline.
You're looking at about $3 to $9 per each individual issue. And then if you have the omnibus, the 10th year anniversary omnibus, that's going for $150.
Yeah, I have all those books. It's just sitting in my my box of collection. I'm seeing if I can leave there for another decade or two and just pass it on to whoever.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say a lot of those the Blackest Night stuff in particular is really fluctuating in their value. It goes anywhere from like $1 to like $40, depending on the issue in particular, and if it's a variant cover.
Oh, I have all the variant covers.
Okay, then you've probably got the most complete set that you could probably try to sell on eBay, and you could get probably a good couple thousands of dollars from it, from the right buyer, and that's going to be the difficult part.
Right. Well, I bought every variant of like those Blackest Night and Death Metal, all that stuff. I have actually all the variant covers, and I just have it. I don't do anything with it. Yeah. It's just sitting in my closet, really. So.
Well, what that means is that when your ancestors along down the line discover it in a crawl space and stuff like that, so long as it's properly cared for and maintained, they will have a treasure in non-liquid assets.
Hopefully, whoever it is take care of it. That's how I care. Or they sell it to somebody that maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to pause for a sec because we have a couple people who've joined us. So I'm just giving you guys a heads up so that you don't think that we're, punking you or anything. Sanguine's enjoying his birthday in Europe right now. We're just taking his night for the day so he can go do that. And then I wanted him to come back and be like, oh, snap, these guys wished me happy birthday in the best way possible. So thanks for joining us, guys. Keep going. Sorry.
Oh, we're just talking nerdy comic stuff, so.
Yeah. It's just we got Sanguine in the title, and Sincere. I just like I said, he's not here in person, but I don't even think he's here in spirit. I think he's enjoying himself, which is what we all hope he's doing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll watch the playback at least,
Exactly. And then we're gonna sing horribly. Well, I'm not going to. I'm gonna try and sing nicely.
I'm gonna sing horribly because I can't sing. So.
I'm not gonna sing at all.
It's gonna be all Adam's ability to sing. So we count on you, bud.
Do you say I have a singing like Beetlejuice? That's odd.
You know what? It's not the songs to say Deo, me say Deo, me say Deo. Oh wait, wrong music. Yeah. Anyway, what you call it? Are you playing TMN? Did you buy the TMNT freaking collection, Adam?
Wait, what's it?
Did you buy the TMNT collection on Steam?
No. I bought the Turtles Cowabunga collection on the Switch.
That's what. Oh,
Yeah.
On the Switch. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's available on the Switch.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know it was on the Switch also. No shit. Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah. As much as I like Steam, I usually only use it for RTSs. Or RTSs or things like Total War. That's not really an RTS, but strategy games. And old school first-person shooters like Quake and Wolfenstein.
Quake isn't even on Steam anymore.
No, it's not.
Why?
Because they got their own service. Because
Yeah.
it's ID is now owned
It's
by
ID stuff.
Bethesda.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
No,
so,
not good.
No, it's not. So when I buy a game on Switch, I try to buy all the games with if they release on the cartridge, I try to buy that because I don't trust any company with digital stuff. Sure, I do buy digital games, but when it comes to something that I find it precious and want to keep, I buy this cartridge. And there's a company that will port certain games to the cartridge. It's like $20 more than what you buy if you bought it digitally.
You talking about limited run?
Yeah, limited run. There you go. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I like limited run and I hate them all at the same time. They create scalpers markets and stuff like that. They profess to want to maintain legacy media, but they don't.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's one of those
I
things
like the ability to have a physical copy of a game instead of just a digital only copy that they should be putting out. They should be putting out the physical copies, but they don't. And then every now and then, I think it's okay to buy like a collector's edition for a game I really like. Like I got the Castlevania Anniversary Collection from them, and then I've got a couple of limited run games. It's just that like what sucks is it's not a good position that they're in simply because game companies have no faith in physical media, and so it takes interest being generated by a predatory company like Limited Run Games to get companies to actually put out physical media. Example, for a long time when Streets of Rage 4 was coming out, Streets of Rage 4 was never supposed to get a physical copy release. Then Limited Run made a physical copy release for Streets of Rage 4. Guess what you can buy now in Best Buy and GameStop?
Okay, Streets of Rage.
A Sega released copy of Streets of Rage 4.
Wait, you can?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
How readily available is it?
It's $40 on Amazon. You can get it at any GameStop or Best Buy.
Yeah, but the thing is though, Adam, you're paying a premium, right? Like right now.
Well,
like,
no, I don't want to pay a
Streets of Rage-
premium. I just want. I already have the game. I have it
Right,
digitally.
but the thing is-
But I would like to have the Genesis copy because it looks nice. Just
Oh no, it's not a Genesis copy. It's still for the Switch. It's just that it's a physical copy.
But it looks like the Genesis, covering, right?
Oh no, that's purely from Limited Run, something that they do.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. No, I'm talking like if you wanted to get the game and have all the DLC, and you wanted to get a physical copy, you don't need to get it from Limited Run anymore. You can get it from actual Sega because they put out a physical release for it, which is bullshit because when they first started with the game, they didn't. It was digital only. Which again, that's the problem I've got with Limited Run. Limited Run is like the testing ground, so to speak, for interest in physical media. And it's predatory as fuck on people like me who want to refuse to buy a game in digital only.
Yeah, because right now when I buy my Switch games, I buy maybe 2-3 games that is, digital. But if I have to, and they do release like if Nintendo releases or whatever third party company releases on a cartridge, I'll pay the extra $10 to get the fucking physical copy because when they turn off the fucking Nintendo Switch online in 10 years or 5 years, whatever, right? I still have my fucking game.
You still have your game, yes.
I'm still worried about that with downloading the Wii U and 3DS games that I need to get.
Oh, the 3DS games, you already fucked on the 3DS because they already turned that shit off.
Did they? No, they didn't. No, I think I can still get it.
No.
I think the 3DS is.
I can't buy
you can
new
download.
stuff.
You can.
I can still download
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You can
But
still download stuff for 3DS for a long time. It's Wii U, I think, is the one that's already turned off.
Yeah, I'm not
yeah,
looking to buy new stuff. I just want to be able to back up the stuff that I've already bought. You know.
Yeah.
yeah, but the thing is, like you say that, right? Because Sony turned off the ability. They got backlash. That's why they turned it back on, right? With the PS3 games they
hmm
used to have. Yeah.
Hold on.
They
Speaking of
basically
which, I gotta hit start on this game because this game looks badass. Manhattan Project. All right, go ahead. Sorry,
so
I'm sorry.
so I think a couple months ago, right? Sony was like, "Hey guys, we're gonna shut down the PS3 servers, right? So all your games that you have in there is gone. Uh, you can't, even though you bought it, you can't download it anymore. So
hmm
they got fucking massive backlash where they're like, well, we pay for this fucking game, but we turn it off. So what they did is they said that they're gonna extend it. They never said that they're not gonna do that. Stop in the future. Where if you had games on the PS3 like I did, w- which I would never ever have again because uh, they're gonna stop the service. Uh, that's my problem with like having everything, in the cloud or on a stupid account is because right now in maybe 2-3 years, Sony is gonna be like, oh, everybody forgot about it and it's gonna shut it down. And that means all the games I bought like 10 years ago or 15 years ago is gonna be gone. Uh, Nintendo already did that the original Nintendo DS. So right now, if you have a original Nintendo DS, and you didn't download the games before they shut it down, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, the DS didn't have downloadable games. It was only the DSi and the 3DS.
Okay. Either way, like those systems, DSi or whatever.
Well, the DSi has already been dead for a long time.
Right, but the whole you can't download anymore is a problem. Yeah, it might have died, but like Nintendo was like, yeah, you can't download anymore after that.
Well, it's funny actually with the DSi, they killed it off in the middle of its production. Like they were still making DSis, and it was competing with it. They were competing with themselves. They were still making 3DSs at the time, Model 1 3DSs, and what they did is they transported all of the DSi shop software over onto the 3DS, and then say, hey, with this program, you can transfer all of your DSi stuff over to your 3DS, and then you don't need your 3DS or your DSi anymore. And then after they released that, they shut the whole thing on DSi down.
Okay, let me answer what Scotty's saying. Like the game, he says the game you should be tied to your account. You with different consoles, you can still play the game, right? The problem is, Scotty, is that this is not just Nintendo, but like Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony do the same thing. It's like, well, they can say, hey, it's no longer compatible. We're not gonna sell this anymore. You're not gonna let you download it anymore. So hey, guess what? You're gonna have to buy this again on our new whatever store that we created, right?
If they even do that. That's another good point too, is the fact that there's some games that they offered for download only on the Wii, never got ported over to the Wii U, never got ported over to the 3DS. It's just straight up lost media now.
Right, and that's why a lot of people are pissed off, and that's why I try to buy physical games, because that's the bullshit that fucking these companies are doing,
I mean, more than anything, I'm pissed off at the lost media potentially. You know what I mean? Because like it's one thing to sit there and say you don't own what you've already paid for. It's another to sit there and support companies that put out exclusivity for your console, only to sit there and say, well, your window's gone. You're not making any more money then. Bye.
Yeah, and the other thing is like, okay, let's say you right now you have a Nintendo Switch, right?
I got a Switch, yeah.
Yeah. Let's say I don't know, 10 years from now, right? Nintendo decided to go to
Pull the plug on the
uh
Switch.
yeah, or go to a different media. Let's say data crystals, right? Yeah, I'm stretching
Mhm.
it right now. So it's not going to be compatible with your current Switch. So you SOL unless you have the original platform, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And they generally charge a premium nowadays to fucking get your games that you fucking had when you were a child, or right, with us currently, right?
Are
And
you
I
talking
find,
about like things like the Virtual Console and shit? Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Or they just do it. I'll give Nintendo this. They probably did the correct thing with the way they currently are running it. I don't like it, but that's just because I don't like paying for a subscription service.
right.
But with their current way that they're doing it with the Nintendo Plus subscription service and getting access to all of the library with the subscription access, that's a pretty good idea of running that. And it also means that people are not so invested in buying the media that is then now going to be gone. It's different when you are renting something as part of a rental service. It's another thing when you are promised a product, a piece of software that was made available for the hardware that you bought it on, and then arbitrarily they just sit there and say, "We're not going to support this anymore. Thanks for the money. You can go fuck yourself."
Well, that's what Sony did when they switched from PS3 to PS
Yeah,
four.
that's what all companies have done. Nintendo's done it the most because they've done it with the DSi, the 3DS, and the Wii and the Wii U.
Well, to be fair to them, though, they do new hardware, like digital media hardware each time, so it's more difficult for them to do backward compatibility with Sony and
Kind of.
um,
They kind of do that because the 3DS eShop and the Wii U eShop are the same.
well, I'm not talking about the eShop. I'm talking about like the this format. Okay,
No, you're talking about like the actual console.
yeah, because
Well, yeah, I would say
so
I'm talking about the
well,
kind of software that's available.
oh,
You
that's
know,
fair too. That's fair too. But like,
because they did
Sony,
that. Sony did that with the PSP and the 3DS or the PS3. You could buy a PlayStation 1 classic game on the PS3 and play it on your PSP.
right? Because they had the whole dual code thing. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
remember all that stuff. But
it was the same BIOS, is really what
yeah,
it was. It's what it all came down to.
right. But because writing program game for one system was easy enough to port over because of the
Well, it's the fact that the only things that were like backwards compatible like that were PlayStation 1 games, which both could technically play because the PSP is essentially just a PS2 pocket-sized. And then the PS3 was completely backwards compatible with PS1 games. Both PS1 and PS2 and PS3 were completely backwards compatible with PS1. So it was not difficult for them to make it backwards compatible with those.
Actually, I need to correct it, Chris. The architecture
Mhm.
for the first run of the PS3 was backward compatible with PS2 and PS1. The second generation
They
didn't.
do a slimline that they took that out on?
Yeah, because the hardware was too expensive.
So yeah, the Nintendo did that too. I'm fairly certain people don't know about this, but the original Wii was completely 100% backwards compatible with the GameCube. Later versions of the Wii, they removed the whole GameCube controller slots on the top of the Wii. My mom has a Wii that has no controller slots on the top.
Yeah, but that model was meant for the Canadian. I know what you're talking about. That is the smaller, slimmer one. That version was
No, it's not small. It was
no,
exactly the same as the Wii. It's just they removed all the controller ports on the top, so it's not backwards compatible with the GameCube.
I don't remember that version, but I remember the one that they released in Canada where it was smaller. They removed.
Yeah, they did do a slimline, smaller one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. and that one was experimental. It was only released in Canada.
No, it was released here in the States, but it was an extremely narrow market. It was like right toward the end of the Wii's life.
I never saw it, so I guess.
They released it mainly for the because there was this craze in the early 2010s, right, where everyone was putting in like Xbox 360s and PlayStation 3s and Wii's in their cars. Like they would mount a TV in their car and then have their console in there.
Oh yeah,
It was all like,
remember
you know,
that.
Trick My Ride sort of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Pimp My Ride. It was a TV
Or
show.
Pimp My Ride, yeah, Pimp My Ride.
Yeah, it was on TV. Yeah.
Yeah, they did shit like that for the Wii specifically because the Wii was so, you know, they wanted to make it small enough to appeal to those kinds of people. And it kind of did for a while, but then the whole craze of, you know, putting TVs and video game consoles in your car just died out.
Yeah, you can blame
R.I.P.
Canadians for
Exhibit.
that. Oh yeah, you can blame Canadians for that, especially Jen.
I got nothing.
No, what you call that? Yeah, there was the days when they did that shit, but I still have my original GameCube, my Wii, my Wii U, my Nintendo.
You're a rarity.
I have my original Nintendo 64, and I have my original Super Nintendo also.
So you're a rarity in the fact that you have a Wii U. Hold on to that shit.
Oh, dude, it's sitting in. It's actually plugged in right now, and I have the fucking sensor bar still on my TV.
I bought the Zombie U collector's one. Yeah. So I've got that, but I've got it all packed up in the original box that it came in and all that shit. So I've got my Wii U and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I have my original Wii U. I still have Zombie U. I have Wind Waker HD.
Yeah, hold on to those too because apparently those are climbing in value. Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Did you know having just a fucking loose amiibo of Wolf Link is worth like almost $300?
I have one of those right now actually in the closet.
Yeah, it's crazy how much those are going for now. Let's see here. Let's go Twilight.
I haven't looked about what like the price. This is the first time I heard how much they're worth. But I have the Wii U, Twilight Princess. I have the Whiff Amiibo. I have what you call it? What's that? Bayonetta 1 and 2.
Bayonetta 1 and 2.
Yep.
Those aren't probably going to be worth all that much because that's also available on Switch now.
Yeah. I have Pikmin, the Pikmin on the Wii U, Pikmin 3.
Yeah, it's pretty even across the board on eBay right now. $150 to $180 if you've got the Wolf Link amiibo.
Oh, I have the Wolf Link amiibo and the original box and the fucking original disc. So.
Yeah, that's what you can expect to get for that. Amazon is even worse though. That's where I saw the Wolf Link amiibo going for so much.
Yeah, I have the original fucking install file for like World of Warcraft. Come on now.
Yeah. Okay. So just the Wolf Link amiibo, not even like sealed in package, $150.
Oh, I have that fucking shit with the package still there.
What's funny is that you could probably get more if you open up the Wolf Link amiibo and sell it separately from the game, because the game goes for about $80 by itself. So $80 for the game, and then $150 just for the amiibo. Sell them separately.
So with my comic book collection and my goddamn Nintendo collection, I can probably make quite a bit of money.
Well, yeah, say you're like me in the fact that you're sitting on a retirement fund of non-liquid assets.
Yes. Yes,
That's what I like to
sad.
say.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I refuse to sell some of my stuff. I'm like, no. I have the original box for the, you know, goddamn Wii U. I still have my original fucking Nintendo 64.
I say I kick myself all the time because I threw away the original box from my original Xbox.
I kick myself nowadays. I threw away the original box from my Super Nintendo and goddamn Nintendo 64. I have the game. I have the original fucking gold cartridge for like the Majora's Mask. I have the original of that. I have fucking original a GoldenEye.
The GoldenEye's worthless. I think it's like $50 at most.
I know. Still,
it's a terrible game too. Terrible game.
A game I grew up with, one stick.
It's a game people grew up with, but it doesn't make it good.
Some people grew up with Duck Hunt too, and everyone still stands by wanting to kill the dog.
For GoldenEye, it's like it was a contemporary of Unreal Tournament and Half-Life.
Yeah, that's. I have. Shit, I lost my original Chrono Trigger cartridge, right?
Oof.
Yeah, it fucking pissed me off.
Well, I don't think the actual original cartridge for Chrono Trigger is not that expensive. So if you wanted to get just the cartridge, you can probably get it for fairly cheap.
I now have the 2 copies of the fucking Chrono Trigger cartridge on the DS. Yeah, it's actually a better game on the DS when playing it again.
Well, yeah, it's got way more quality of life improvements. They put the PlayStation cutscenes and stuff like that because there's the PlayStation version too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I enjoy it. Like the games I have now, I'm probably sitting on about 10 grand worth of memorabilia. Whoever gets it, whatever, sell it off, have a little fun, go on a vacation. I'm cool with that. But yeah, no, it's you never thought about, like, I never thought about like having it as a something I would collect type of deal. It just came to me. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, these books are good. I bought it because I wanted to see it, or I bought the game I want to play, Now that you get older, it's like, oh yeah, people are gonna be fucking hammering whoever it is that owns it gonna want to have the item just for collectability, So it's good to have. Yeah, I also have a collection of Japanese sword. I need to figure out who's gonna belong to. But anyway, Adam.
Adam, it's about 10:02. We should maybe start doing the wrapping up in the last calls. And yeah, are you there? Knock knock. Yeah, there he is. There.
He's alive. He's alive.
Did you fall asleep?
Not at all.
No. We can all blame this on a penis Scotsman before we sign off.
Do we, you know, I mean, I know Quiz and Cryptic are saying no to the singing, but, are we still wanting to, sing Sanguine Happy Birthday?
Wait, what?
Well, I thought we could start wrapping up soon, because it's like 10:02.
Yeah, and, I think, saying, happy birthday to, Sanguine would be nice. We don't have to sing. Nobody has to sing. Nobody needs to hear anybody singing. Although I'm sure everybody, you know, has a beautiful voice, and
we can always just say it.
Well, you know, yeah, you know, hey, happy birthday, Sanguine. I hope you have a
happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday
to you.
And I hope you smell like a zoo. No, that's
birthday to happy birthday to
you. Happy birthday,
dear
Sanguine.
Happy birthday to
have fun, sir. Have much drink and food.
Don't get pegged by a goddamn European woman. You're good. Wait.
You know, the next time we hear from him, he's gonna be like, you know, I'm gonna stay in Europe. And...
Yeah, he's probably like, the food.
I don't blame him.
Yeah. Well, the way he cooks, he would be happy in like Greece or France or Italy, you know.
Yeah, no.
Well, it all depends. He does a lot of Japanese cooking, so you're gonna have to have like a Japanese market nearby.
Yeah, he's gonna be traveling all over. Well, hey, yeah, you know what? Right. I hope you do that, man. I hope you fucking get your adventure on, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But at the same end, we've been running for about, it's coming on 2 hours. 2 hours.
Yeah, which I was like, I don't even know if I could push it this far. But then, you know, we had you boys come in, and I was like, you know what, I'm okay with that, because I wanted to make sure the stream was okay, and yeah, I kind of roped Adam in here last minute, because you know.
Well,
I'll say if you'd like to learn OBS and stuff like that to run the stream yourself, I'm perfectly willing to teach it.
Yeah, I actually know OBS. I just need the key, and I need the stuff so I can. Yeah.
We can talk about this at another time, but
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, for a Friday evening, as an auspicious time, we have reached our limit. Does anybody want to say? I mean, I guess that's just since I'm still dangling the keys on my finger.
Parting thoughts?
Does anybody want to have any comments left for the outro? Or outro? Quiz or Cryptic or Jenny?
I'm good.
All right.
Don't stick your penis in vinegar.
There you go.
Making big buff American men listen to Avril Lavigne is hilarious.
Hey,
whoa.
Hold on.
You take that back, Jen.
Avril Lavigne.
There's some big buff American men that do that by themselves.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, you hit too close to the heart, Jen. Quiz. Anything you like to add? I'm surprised you're here. I hope you're not. Aren't you at work?
I am at work.
Oh shit.
Shush.
Well, I hope you're not. Well, I'm sure you are an upstanding worker.
Yes.
In this day and age, yeah, he's running circles around people. He's fine.
Yeah, dude. does good work. I believe in Quiz.
Essentially, it's like all of my work is done. I'm just being a warm body until 2 o'clock in the morning. So.
Oh, all right. So, I don't know.
What do you got going on, Mr. Adam? Do you got stuff going on this weekend? Like, are you doing a stream tomorrow, or
damn.
Or
Ask
you know?
me a question.
I know it's party words. It's your turn. Chill your shit, man.
Well,
you're good.
Tomorrow, Adam, you're gonna punch a bunch of babies and kick a bunch of cats. That's all you need.
Whoa, hold on. But I want a little kitten. You know, I've been seeing.
you'll be...
Hold on. Is it a odd thing where all of a sudden when you're looking at Twitter, and it's just nothing but little kittens or cats? I didn't pick. Yeah. I didn't like any of these things. I didn't accept it. But all of a sudden, there's a whole influx of cat stuff, and I really want a little kitten.
Just eat one.
Not even fucking the right day. It's supposed to be tomorrow. It's Catter Day.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
Catter Day is when we're supposed to do that.
That was a trap. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a trap. There is no kittens, okay?
Eat them.
Why would you trick someone into going on Twitter? What kind of monster are you?
I am.
Yeah, eat them.
I am the monster.
I'm almost kind of glad tomorrow isn't Sunday, because that joke would have been worded different.
Look, it's the same thing when if you boil a bunch of asparagus and then you put it in a pot of chilled water, you're shocking the vegetables. Okay, you're doing something. Okay, we're ending this show. I'm ending the show.
Yeah, we should. Have a good night, everybody.
Crazy. I love y'all. I am glad everybody joined the show. Hold on. Once again, let's just remind ourselves. Happy birthday, Sanguine. I hope you're having a fun time. Is it in Europe?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Happy birthday!
Sanguine in Europe. There you go, sir. But for the rest of us, good evening. I hope you enjoy your Friday evening. And the zoo... Oh, wait. Oh, I love you all. God bless. And the zoo is closed.
Bye.
Use toilet paper.
Yeah, we're still going to do the outro, right?
Oh.
Yeah,
I am. Usually I say, the Minions of the Zoo is recorded in front of the live studio audience, but I want to say, happy birthday, Sanguine. You're one of a kind. And, look forward to more of your, stew. It's good.